Hello, welcome to Fishing Live. We've got a very angry jumping skimmer to start us off this week. I'm at a lovely little fishery in Sheffield called Cowgap Farm. Not too far from Stannington, which is like the north side of the city, going out towards the Peak District. Absolutely lovely bit of the world. I'm just having the most wonderful afternoon's fishing, catching skimmers, roach, bit of everything really on just a 4 metre whip. It's a 4 metre Milo whip that I'm actually testing for Match Fishing magazine today. I've just bought a simple bag of bait, a bag of 2-in-1 micros with me, and all we're doing couldn't be any more simple. Simple little rig, feeding a bit of bait, fishing in it and just taking everything that comes. Obviously whip fishing, it's really a small fish method, so we're just targeting bites today. We're just trying to get plenty of bites and put as much as we can in the net, so to speak. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hopefully catch in with a couple of fish, talk you through the tactic, and then I'm going to bring you your weekly fishing forecast. So just flicking the rig out, we've got the wind behind us today, so we're able to do that quite nicely. Just feeding, oh, little bite on the drop there. Just feeding around the float, just a few micros, not too many. Little and often's the key, especially this time of year. We're trying to build the fish up and get them competing so we get bites fairly quickly. You'll see the beauty of this method, of course, is it's a 4 metre whip, but we're probably fishing about 6 metres out there because we've flicked the rig out. We've used the wind and just the force of the whip to flick the rig out past the tip of the pole. So there's actually no shadow of pole over where we're fishing, which is a nice advantage in spring when the water's still clear. You know, you're able to just flick that rig out a little bit further. Can be difficult on some days, for example, you know, if you've got one of those days when maybe the wind's really awkward or something like that, the whip then becomes a little bit more. Oh, that's another fish on there. A little interesting little bite that was, but it's another nice little skimmer. I actually had to net the last two. Near enough every other fish I've had today has been a swinger. I'm not complaining, these are nice fish to catch, and because it's a nice soft action whip, we're not pulling the hook out. Lovely little skimmers. So I'll talk you through the rig. It's dead simple really. It's a Guru F1 pellet hook. I've got a 6-inch hook length. It's 09 power line hook length. There's a strung pattern there. Strung out number 9, something like that, nothing too fine. 0.6 gram, or actually sorry, it's a 0.5 gram float, that one. And that's just tied on 011 power line. So the hook length's on 09 down to that hook. And as I said, it's a 4 metre whip, which I'm sort of putting through its paces today, and I've been very, very impressed. Now the good thing about the micros, of course, all Fuka bait for that matter, is it's nice and soft, so you can hook it fairly quickly. But also the hook pulls through it when you get a bite, which is really important when it's, you know, fishing for numbers of fish, and especially, to be fair, when soft-mouthed skimmers are concerned, because oh, that's another decent fish. Having a good run on this little whip now at the minute. It's a big roach, that one. Lovely fishing. Right, there we are. So we've got that one in the net. What I'll do now is give you your weekly fishing forecast. Look at him, absolutely gorgeous. So in terms of the fishing this weekend, what do we expect? Well, it's a mixed bag, I'm afraid, folks. I'm going to start with the good news. The good news is I think it's going to be a lovely weekend to be sat out. I mean, I've looked at the forecast this morning, and it's saying we could see temperatures of 14 degrees in the Midlands, which is really nice and warm for the time of year. Bright sunshine, so it'll be lovely to be sat out. And that's both Saturday and Sunday we've got that lovely sunny weather, so it'll be a really nice weekend to be out on the bank, to be honest. There is a downside though, and that's the nighttime temperatures. Because we've got that sun, we've got blue skies, we've got frosts. So on your commercial fisheries in particular, I think you've got to be prepared for a slow start. Now don't get me wrong, I still think that fishing wise it'll be quite good because it's been warm all week and we have got those warm temperatures in the day, but just be aware things might take a little while to get going. The mornings might be slow, and especially as it's dead still and flat calm, I can imagine it might be a case of feeling your way into a session starting off feeding little bits of bait, and then you know that you can always up the ante as the day goes on, feed a little bit more. And I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest, if there isn't some good fish caught down the edge this weekend, because those margins and things like islands do warm up a little bit quicker than the rest of the lake. So in the middle of the day in particular, you know, don't be surprised if you don't see fish. You don't see fish up on the top. I think you could well do. That's what often happens this time of year. As soon as them upper layers warm up, the fish come straight up and into that shallower water. But as I said, that's more in the afternoon. I think in the mornings it'll be slower. Rivers, unfortunately, they're out of the equation now. It's closed season as of March the 15th, but for the canals, it could be quite interesting, to be honest. I think we'll start to see the fish moving out of the winter haunts, of those built-up areas that I've been talking about all winter. They'll start to be going back into the countryside anytime now. Roach might be looking to start spawning, but there'll still be some good skimmers and some bigger fish, some chub and perch to be caught, if you know where to head. So I'm going to try and catch you one more fish, and then I'm going to sign off from this week's Fishing Live. But wherever you're going, as I said, it's going to be a lovely weekend to be out on the bank, so make sure you make the most of it. What I wanted to prove from today's Fishing Live, because obviously the last couple we've been big fish fishing on rivers and things like that, is you don't need a lot to just get out and enjoy yourself. This is just a 4-metre whip. I've come with a little seat box with a bag of bait today, and you know what, I'm really enjoying it. It's dead simple, it's dead cheap, and most of all it's effective. It catches fish. So we've got another fish on it. Oh, that one's come off. Never mind. I'm going to sign off, folks. Have a lovely weekend's fishing, and I look forward to seeing you same time next week.